Hey everyone and welcome back. Today, we're doing things a little differently, kind of strapping on our, financial detective hats.
Yeah.
We're diving deep into the world of startup funding. You know those headlines like, this company just raised $1 gazillion. Yeah, we're going beyond the hype to figure out what those investments tell us about the future.
Exactly. It's like a sneak peek at what's grabbing the attention and the wallets of some seriously smart investors. And those bets often point to the tech, the solutions that could totally change how we live and work, maybe even what we eat down the line.
Right. And for this deep dive, we're hanging out with a report from Bearhug Recruiting. These guys, they live and breathe the startup world. Their report, it covers all these early-stage funding rounds in tech from the week of May 6, 2024.
And Bear Hug, they're not just crunching numbers for fun. I mean, it is pretty cool stuff, but they're out there connecting startups with talent. So when they see a trend, it's worth taking notes.
It's like getting a peek into the future, right from the source.
Hmm.
So one of the first things that jumped out from this report was this focus on two, well, they seem different, but they're kind of connected. Environmental technology and, get this, enterprise software.
And what's really interesting here is how technology is bridging that gap, with software playing a huge part in making a greener future happen.
Okay, I got to ask, when you hear environmental tech and enterprise software, what pops into your head? Are these things you follow or maybe you're curious about? Like even before we unpack these companies everyone's watching, what connections do you see already?
Connections, that's a great point, because this report, it highlights how often those two worlds collide. Like
Hmm.
take Arbol, for example. They're tackling this really big and kind of scary issue of climate risk.
And they're doing it in a way that's kind of mind-blowing, right? They're using AI to predict and prepare for climate events. Imagine if we weren't just reacting to floods and droughts, but actually getting ahead of them. Well, Arbol's platform is built to do that, and investors are definitely paying attention. They just dropped a cool $60 million on them.
This isn't just about, doing the right thing for the planet. This is about cold, hard cash. As we see more crazy weather, businesses are realizing that being ready for those changes, that's just good business sense.
For sure. And speaking of using tech to shake things up, let's talk about Trovo Health. They want to drag healthcare into the 21st century, and they just snagged $15 million in seed funding to make it happen.
AI and healthcare, you might be thinking, that sounds a little too sci-fi-ish, right? But Trovo, they're not trying to replace doctors. Their AI platform, it's all about helping doctors and nurses do their jobs even better.
It's like giving them superpowers, right? Imagine fewer misdiagnoses, shorter wait times at the doctor's office, all because things are smoother and more efficient. That's what Trovo's going for.
Exactly. It's about AI boosting human potential, which means healthier patients in the end. This investment, it just shows how much people are betting on AI as a tool in these really complex fields. And healthcare, well, it's a prime example.
All right, so from better healthcare, let's jump to something totally different. Ready for this? Seafood. No, I'm serious. Shinkei Systems just reeled in $6 million for a robotic system that's changing how we fish.
And this is a perfect example of how tech isn't always about reinventing the wheel. It's about taking what we know and making it better, smarter, more sustainable. Shinkei Systems, they're taking old school fishing techniques and combining them with robots and AI.
So they're taking the best of both worlds. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
But why is this such a big deal?
Well, for starters, it tackles this growing need for sustainable seafood.
Mhm.
People are worried about the planet, right? Shinkei Systems system, it cuts down on waste and is way better for the fish, which matters to a lot of people these days.
Okay, that makes sense. So from the ocean, let's switch gears to, well, space.
Yes. Dante, they call themselves the Earth Data Search Engine. They just scored a $5 million seed round to keep building their platform. Basically, it's AI that sifts through all that data we get from satellites, drones, you name it.
So like Google Earth, but on a super powered level.
Kind of. But Dante is after more than just cool pictures. They want to make it easier to actually use all that data we're gathering about our planet. That means big things for the environment, how we use resources, even planning cities and responding to disasters.
Talk about bringing space down to Earth, right? Now, our next company, they're doing something way more, shall we say, grounded. Furniture. Believe it or not, even something as old school as furniture can get a tech makeover.
You got that right. Inhabiture is proof. They just banked a cool $27 million to grow their AI platform. What does it do? It changes how we furnish places like hotels, apartments, even dorms.
So no more flipping through those boring furniture catalogs.
Mm-hmm.
Inhabitors using AI to personalize the whole design process.
Exactly. They make everything smoother, from picking out what you want to actually
Oh.
getting it installed, even paying for it. And clearly, investors are buying it. They're betting on a future where even our couches are smart.
Okay, smart couches. That's both intriguing and, I gotta say, a little freaky. But seriously, there's a common thread here, right?
Mm.
Sustainability, we saw it with Arbol, Shinkai Systems, and now Inhabitor. It really feels like things are changing, like it's not just about move fast and break things anymore. It's got to be smarter than that.
You got it. And this isn't just about being, like, ethically woke, right? It's about seeing the potential in doing things the sustainable way. Take Fintronics, for example. They just banked $23 million. What for? High-performance insulator.
Insulators. Wait, like the rubber things electricians use. Okay, I'm lost. Haha. What makes these insulators so special that they're worth millions of dollars?
Think of it this way. We're all about data centers now, right? Those massive hums that power the internet, all our favorite apps, everything. Well, those things, they get hot. Really hot.
Yeah, makes sense. Last thing we need is the internet melting down. That'd be bad.
Exactly. And that's where Thintronics comes in. They're insulators. They're like top of the line for managing all that heat. It's like designing a cooling system for the internet itself.
So it's not just about faster computers anymore. It's about making sure those computers can actually handle all that speed.
You got it. And here's what's really cool. Thintronics, they're showing how, like, to get the most out of computers, out of AI even, you need material science to keep up. They're insulators. They're making everything more efficient. Do more with less. That's good for business, and it's good for the planet.
It's like if you want a faster car, you need better tires to handle it. So not all the funding rounds we're looking at are like massive, though. Take Turnkey, for instance. They just raised $1.5 million. Seed funding. But still. And they're tackling something probably a lot of us know too well. Customer churn.
Oh, yeah, customer churn. We've all been there, right? You sign up for something, totally gung-ho about it, and then poof, you forget about it. Next month rolls around, you're like, wait, what's this charge?
Been there, done that. I swear half my credit card statement is those mystery charges for stuff I don't even use.
Right, it's the worst. But Turnkey, they're getting real about this problem, both for companies and for us regular folks. Their platform, it's got all these tools to help companies figure out why people quit and how to keep them around.
So it's a win-win. Companies save money. We don't have to deal with annoying customer service calls.
Exactly. It's about realizing that keeping your customers happy, that's the key, not just getting new ones all the time.
For sure. Now, speaking of understanding customers, there's Seam AI, just raked in $5 million. Their thing is an AI-powered customer data platform.
You know how everyone's saying data is the new oil? Well, these guys, they're giving businesses the tools to, like, actually refine that oil. They use AI to dig through all that customer data companies already have, but, like, never really use well.
So it's like they're turning that data into, like, digital gold.
Boom, nailed it. Their platform helps businesses personalize stuff, know what customers want before they even do, all that. It's a prime example of AI not just being about automation, but about understanding things, making smarter choices.
Okay, lightning round time. We've got a few companies using AI in some wild ways. Ready? First up, Invent Analytics. They snagged $17 million for what they call, get this, advanced analytics for retailers.
Advanced analytics, right, in the age of AI. Love it. But all jokes aside, Invent Analytics is showing how even, like, old school industries, they got to adapt. Data analysis, AI, it's changing the game for everyone.
It's like giving retailers a crystal ball to see the future of what people are going to buy.
That's a good way to put it. Invent Analytics helps them figure out how much stuff to keep in stock, what to charge, even how to get it all from A to B smoothly. Basically, they make retailers smarter and faster.
Next on the AI train, we got Log10. Their platform helps developers build those AI-powered apps everyone's going crazy for. Just scored $7.2 million to, as they say, democratize AI development.
And it's not just about making it easier. It's about realizing that, like, we need more AI experts. Stat platforms like Log10, they're bridging the gap, giving more people the power to build the future.
They're like the tool makers for the AI revolution.
Love
it. Okay, last stop on our AI Express is Lamini. Just closed a massive $25 million round. And their platform, let's just say it's going to make a lot of companies very happy, right? You got to give me the details. What's Lamini's secret weapon?
Large language models. Those crazy powerful AI systems that sound like, well, us, ChatGPT, Google's thing, the whole 9 yards.
Right, those are everywhere these days.
Yeah.
But what does Lamini have to do with them?
So building those things, up until now, it's been crazy expensive and complicated. Only the tech giants with tons of cash could play. Lamini's changing that. They're making it easier for companies to build their own using their own data.
So instead of using a one-size-fits-all AI, businesses can create one that's tailored just for them.
Bingo! And that opens up a world of possibilities. Imagine personalized experiences for every customer, automating all the boring stuff, even coming up with brand new things we haven't even thought of yet.
It's like everyone gets their own AI genie, right? Okay, so we've covered a ton, from like AI fighting climate change to robot fish farmers to the future of furniture. Seriously. But there's one more company I got to circle back to. They're tackling something I think we've all dealt with: subscription overload.
Ah, you're talking about churn keys. They're all over customer churn. You know that thing where you sign up for something, you're all excited, and then bam, forget about it. Next thing you know, you're getting charged every month for something you don't even use.
The worst. It's like death by 1,000 subscriptions, I swear. But what really got me about Turnkey wasn't just the problem. It was that they got $1.5 million seed funding to fix it.
And that's actually huge. We're all hyped about AI, sustainability, all this crazy tech, but some problems, they never go away, right? Customer churn, it's been around forever. Turnkey is just showing that even in a crowded market, there's always room for a good solution.
It's like finding I don't know, a life raft in a sea of subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like there's a deeper message here, too. It's not just about saving us from our credit card statements. It's about helping businesses do things differently.
100%. It's not just about getting new customers, it's about treating them right so they stick around. Turnkey success, it kind of shows that investors are catching on to that.
Totally. Okay, so big picture time. We've talked about a bunch of companies, but what are the big trends we're seeing in funding this week? What's the takeaway?
One word: convergence. Everything's blending together, you know? And tech is making it happen. AI isn't just for software anymore. It's changing healthcare, how we use resources, even how we get our food. And the biggest example: AI-powered sustainability. That's a trend I can get behind, big time.
It's like AI is the secret ingredient everyone's adding to their dish. So for you, what's the most exciting trend here?
Hands down, the rise of sustainability investments. All of these companies, from Arbol to Shinkei Systems to Inhabit, they're proving that doing good and making money, it's not either anymore. It's both.
It's like we're moving from move fast and break things to innovate responsibly.
Exactly. And that's what gets me fired up. It's not just about feeling good, it's about seeing the potential. We've got climate change, resource issues, all these challenges. The companies solving those problems, they're the ones building the future. And that's something worth paying attention to.
Absolutely. So for our listeners, the people ready to jump into the future, what's the one thing you want them to remember?
This week in funding, it's proof that the lines between like traditional industries and tech, they're gone. Ideas are blending, new solutions are popping up, and it's creating amazing opportunities. So stay curious, keep your eyes open, and don't be afraid to explore. The future's waiting to be built, right?
Love it. The future is waiting to be built. That's the perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into startup funding, everyone. We'll be back next week with another trend shaping the future. Until then, stay curious.